Hi traders, this is the 13th of this trading bootcamp, and in today's lesson now, I'll be teaching you guys about discipline in trading. Now, in trading, if you lack discipline, definitely you're gonna make money, but you're gonna lose every single money you made back to the market, and even lose your whole account, lose so much money back to the market. Why? Because you fail to stay disciplined or you lack discipline. And in today's lesson, I'll be teaching you guys how I personally remain disciplined and how you personally can easily start becoming disciplined. And definitely, if you are disciplined, you'll be able to follow your plan, and definitely you'll be able to remain profitable going on. Right? You're making money consistently, weekly, monthly, you are withdrawing. You are staying disciplined, you are executing your plan. That's how it's not gonna be. So in this very video now, I'll be teaching you guys how I personally remain disciplined and how you personally can easily go over start becoming disciplined yourself. These bootcamps have not been consistent. For the past few days now, I've not uploaded video on this bootcamp, so I've not been feeling so strong. I've been doing video almost every single day for the past few days for the bootcamp, and then I broke down, so I just had to relax and then continue again from this discipline. So in this very video now, it's gonna be me guiding you on how I stay disciplined, how you personally can easily go over start staying disciplined, and definitely if you are more disciplined, if you watch closely, not just me myself, how I personally stay disciplined, you notice I'm so disciplined in a way that I execute my trades, I follow my plan. If you also notice traders who are making profitable traders, they remain disciplined. That's the reason they are profitable. And you personally, you can make so much money from the market, make $10,000, $1,000, $100,000, and then lose everything back to the market, right? And even go in debt. Why? Because you fail to remain disciplined. Of which discipline is a key factor that's gonna help you become consistently profitable. In a way, you are making profit, you are receiving your payout consistently. It's not that you go over, make profits, you lose everything. You receive one payout, you blow your funded account. So that's what I'm going to give you guys in today's lesson. Today's lesson, I broke this discipline down into three. So I'm going to be teaching you how to stay disciplined in three different ways. But you being disciplined is going to be like this. You have a plan. From the last video of this bootcamp, the last video I did, I talked about creating the trading plan. So by now, every single one of you watching me now have a plan. Definitely, if you don't have a plan by now and you are watching this, it means you have not been disciplined enough to create a plan for yourself. So pause this very video now, go over to your drawing note and draft out a plan for yourself. That's your first step to staying disciplined. Our last class was on trading plan. Definitely, after that very class, I expected every single one of you to draft out a plan with what I've used, what I've showed you guys from the last video. You can easily go over, draft out a plan for yourself, and that's the plan you're gonna start following for your account. You deposited any money, that's the plan you'll be following on that very account. You got a Profirm account, that's the plan you'll be following for that very account. So that's your very first step to stay disciplined. Now, discipline is you following your plan, and with the very first step I've given you now have a trading plan. So you want to go over, follow that very trading plan, and definitely once you follow that trading plan, you're gonna start seeing results. Why? Because it's a plan that's gonna guarantee your results. Definitely, the plan I gave you is the plan I use. Is the way my trading plan looks like. Then every single one of you watching me who have been watching, many of you are now profitable constantly. That's the plan you guys also learned from me. So very likely this plan is working. This is the plan I also teach my students, and they are profitable, passing their funded account, receiving live accounts, receiving payouts, receiving withdrawals from their personal account. So it's a plan that is working, is effective. Both the strategy, the plan, the risk management is effective. That's why everybody is getting feedback, getting results using the same plan I teach them. Now, all you have to do now is just to follow the plan. Which discipline in today's lesson now, I teach you guys how to stay disciplined, how you're able to follow all of this plan. Now, if you don't stay disciplined, this is how it's gonna look. I've given you staying disciplined is gonna be you following a plan. But I told you I have 3 steps which I'm gonna tell you on how I stay disciplined long enough in the game. You being disciplined is you following your plan, and then if you lack discipline, it's gonna be like this. At around June, July last year, 2025, I took a huge loss of about $2,000. Now, what happened? That money I made it over 5 months of trading the market. That was the period I made that money. But what happened? I lose it in a very single day. Why? Because I was trying to scale up. I was trying to risk big because I think it was a high probability setup. I lacked discipline at then. Now, what happened? It bring me back to about 2 months back, right? That Me lacking discipline now took me back about 5 months back. That's 5 months of effort now wasted. Just like the 5 months I traded, I lost the whole profit. Just like I didn't even make money that 5 months. Why? Because I lack discipline at that very time. So that's what discipline is gonna do. And obviously, even if you are unprofitable, many of you are profitable, and with what I showed you with my own personal self, now you're gonna notice you will definitely lose every single one of your hard work back to the market. Why? Because you fail to remain disciplined. You lack discipline. And the second thing is that if you go over, you lack discipline, and you are just coming up, you're a complete beginner, you lack discipline, you are unprofitable, definitely you are gonna remain profitable for a very, very long time, until you go over, start becoming more disciplined, and then that's when you start becoming profitable. You being disciplined is so simple. Have self-control, and then execute your plan fearlessly. Execute and follow, very importantly, follow your plan. Now, you be disciplined is gonna be this. You tell yourself you won't do something. You want to go over, do everything possible to make sure you don't repeat that thing you said you were not gonna do. You telling yourself now, oh, I'm not gonna play video game. I'm not gonna play video game and then drown playing video game again. If I'm gonna play video game, I'm just gonna play it for like 1 hour and I'll stop. Or I won't play video game throughout this week. I want to go over, read or finish this book. You want to go over, stay disciplined, finish that book you are reading, or stop and then don't play that video game throughout that week. Why? Because that's what you've told yourself. But if you see yourself by the middle of the week, or at some point see yourself violating your rule, what you said you're gonna do, you are not gonna do, you see yourself doing it, that means you lack self-control, you lack discipline, and that won't help you. In trading is gonna bring out the you into the market. If you lack discipline, trade is gonna show you in the market that you lack discipline, right? And if you watch closely, every single profitable trader, we have things we battle with, we have our own difficult times sometimes. But overall, because we have discipline, because we are disciplined in the market, we're able to overcome it. But now, if you lack discipline, definitely you won't be able to overcome it. Now, you being disciplined in real life is gonna be you setting rules for yourself. Some things you're gonna do, it can be routine, right? You can tell yourself, in the morning, every morning I'll be doing like 50 push-ups. Definitely that's a goal you've set. And what are you gonna do? You want to try your best to do it, to make sure once you wake up, you go over, do that 50 push-up as you have said. That's you being disciplined. As far as you're able to follow that very thing you said you're gonna do, or you said you won't do something, you're able to make sure you don't do that thing. That's you being disciplined, and that's what trading is. If you fail to do it, you said you're gonna do something and then you end up not doing it, or you said you won't do something and you end up repeating that same thing, you are lacking discipline. That's in real life. In real life now, that's how it's gonna look. You said you won't do something but you end up doing it. That's how it's gonna look in real life. But once you now come into the market, it's now your money. You said you won't do something in the market, you end up doing it. Definitely the market won't go over, compensate you, or because you made a mistake, it's gonna go over, not make you lose. Definitely, as far as you've repeated that same thing, you've done something wrong, you're gonna lose money. And what happened? Your account suffers. Why? Because you fail to remain disciplined. And you be disciplined in trading now is first, you be disciplined in real life. Being disciplined in real life now is gonna guide you. It's gonna help you start becoming more disciplined in trading. Now, you be disciplined in real life. Once you set a goal, set something you want to do or you wish not to do again, go over, follow it. No matter what it's gonna take, follow it, because you've written it out, you've said you won't do it, and then you want to make sure you go do everything possible to make sure you don't repeat that same thing. Now, come to trading. Once you have a plan written out, your plan now is part of strategy, is part of your plan. Once you have your plan written out, definitely you are the one who wrote that plan. You are the one who go over, write out every single thing on that plan. You plan on risking $100 per trade. You were the one who write out that you're risking $100. I wasn't the one who told you risk $100. So what are you gonna make sure you do? You want to do everything possible to make sure you don't end up risking $500 on another trade. You want to make sure you are always risking that very $100. Definitely, you want to have a good. You will definitely have a good setup. A day you just have a clean setup. Oh, this is a nice setup, and there's a high probability that this will go up. This is like an A plus setup, and obviously there's not like A plus setup. There's not like A plus setup in the market, wherever market you trade. But you're now saying this is an A plus setup. Because of this, let me go over and increase my risk. And that was what I did. Literally, what also happened during with what I did when I took that loss was this. Someone was making a very decent figure, about $100,000 from the market in a single day, and I was like, man, why can't I do like 5K, 10K? You know, I already made $1,000 in a single day. Then, so I was not like, why can't I do 10K, 5K on this very account? Since the account is already at $1,000, so I can do more. So what happened? That was I took the risk. Why? Because I saw someone making more money, and definitely I lack discipline. Why? Because I'm meant to go over, follow my plan. My plan says risking $100 to $200, that's like 10% of the account on a single trade. But now I went ahead and risked 100% of the account on a single trade. Why? Because I was trying to make more money. I lack discipline at that very time. So that's something you want to work on. If you are disciplined in real life, it's going to show in trade that you are disciplined. And if you watch closely, people who are disciplined, they are the ones who win. You're going to notice we forex traders, real and disciplined forex traders, we hardly do things that you will see people who are not disciplined doing, because we know what it takes to be a forex trader. We know what it takes to constantly make money, to constantly remain profitable. So that's why there are some things you're gonna see me do in real life now that people you're gonna see people do in real life that you will never see me do, and you're gonna also pay attention to every single trader. You won't see them doing similar thing. Why? Because that's what it's gonna take for them to start becoming profitable. Now, there are three things on you staying disciplined and then becoming more disciplined. The very first thing is gonna be your goals and your target. If you go over start setting unrealistic goals, definitely you're already planning to fail, and that's the truth. You go over fund any capital. The main thing is always money. You fund any capital, set certain unrealistic goals. Right? You fund about $1,000, you start targeting $10,000 in a single week. That's an unrealistic goal. Unless you plan on flipping it. Remember, with the risk management on how you flip, you plan on flipping it, and then what happened? You can go over reach the whole $1,000, target 10 arrow, and then you make your $10,000. But if that's your entire capital, that's your entire net worth, the same way I went ahead, risked the whole $2,000 now, definitely if that was a good trade, what will happen? The account will get bigger. I'll be having like $5,000, $10,000 on that very account. Why is that? Because it went well. I'll feel excited. But now that it didn't go well, it brings me back. It took me back to like 5 months. So that's like 5 months of my trading, of my efforts was wasted. Why? Because I tried taking more risk. I tried going over, taking more risk, increasing my risk. Now that's how it's gonna look if you start setting unrealistic goal. You funded that $1,000, which is some percentage from your salary. You want to stay disciplined with whatever you plan on risking. And then your goal, you setting goals, setting targets, you want to also add up discipline to that very target. You want to also add up a sense of humor to that very target in a way that the target will be realistic and the target will be achievable. If you fund that $1,000 now, you can see I'll be making, or I'll target $500 in a week. And if you are risking, let's say $100 on that very account, that's like 10% of the account. If you're risking 10% of the account, now that's gonna give you up to like 5 RR, and you hit your target. You plan on making $500 a week from this $1,000 deposit you made, and that's gonna give you, you're gonna need like 5 RR. Once you hit 5 RR on that week, you've made your $500. That's if you're risking $100. Then if you're going over risking $200 now, you'll go over, target your normal 5 RR for that week. In that week now you made 5 RR, that's you making $1,000 profit from that $1,000 deposit. Why? Because you stay disciplined to follow your plan, you stay disciplined to follow and execute all your trade, which I'm going to talk about. Now, your goal is going to be realistic in a way that it's not going to be a goal that will make you take unnecessary risk, that make you take unnecessary losses. If you take unnecessary risk, trust me, it's going to affect your psychology. And the moment your emotions start coming in, the moment your fears start coming in, the moment your greed start coming in, definitely you're going to start pushing your target away. There's a high chance that you will blow that account. Why? Because your greed is coming in, your emotion is coming in, your fear is coming in. Now, what can you do? Set a realistic goal, set a realistic target in a way that greed will not come in. I've talked on greed before, in a way that greed will not come in. Greed is gonna ruin everything. So that's one thing that you want to do to start becoming more disciplined. Set a realistic goal, an achievable goal. I do base my own weekly, so you can base your own off of a monthly, off of yearly. You can say this year I'll make $100,000. This year I'll make $10,000. This year I'll make $1,000,000. Next year I'll make $100 million from the market. It's very achievable, but it's gonna be making it realistic. Which consistency, I'm going to talk about how to break all of these goals down in a way that you're able to achieve all of these things before the year ends, before the week ends, or before the month ends, the goal you are setting. Now, that's the very first thing, your goals and your targets, wherever you are expecting to make on that very account, make it realistic in a way that is achievable and is not going to stress you out in achieving those goals. Definitely, you want to dream big, so you can make, definitely, if you dream small, you're going to make small money. You dream big, you're going to make more money. So goals, setting realistic goals now can be you dreaming big. You can fund $100, $1,000, saying from this $1,000 now, I'll make it $2,000 profit in a week. That's you dreaming big. That's already you planning to make times two, up times two of your account. That's already you dreaming big. So if you are targeting $500 profit now, that's also a realistic goal. That's also you being able to achieve that. If you're targeting $100 profit now, that's not you dreaming big. Why? Because you've funded $1,000 and you're targeting $100 profit for the week. That's not you dreaming big. Overall, that's also a realistic goal that you can achieve. But if you start targeting $5,000, $10,000, that's not realistic. Unless that capital you funded is a capital you can fund multiple times. You can put it at $1,000, lose it, and then fund again that same week. If you can't do that, set your realistic goal to $1,000 for that week or that month, depending on how you go about your trading, or for that week, $500 for that week, $500 for that month, $1,000 for that week, or $1,000 for that month. That's the very first thing, which is your goal. Then the second thing is your risk, which I'll be talking about. Multiple times, you're going to see so many traders online. Once they take a very unnecessary losses, it's always going to set them back. I've told you my experience, and it has happened to me, it has happened to so many other traders. And you can see yourself doing so many things you will not do on a normal day. Now, I've seen a couple of traders, a trader selling his house, selling his cars just to go over, recover from debt the forex market has put him into. Why is he doing that? Why did he end up in that debt? Because he lacked discipline. Once you are taking risk, you need to take risk in a calculated way, in a way that you can't go over, make so much money, and then end up selling off your car, selling off your house to fund again or to take trade again. Why? Because doing all of those things now is because you've not calculated your risk. Even if you're gonna blow your account, definitely you will blow your account if you are not careful. Even if you're gonna blow your account, it's gonna be you blowing the account in a way that it suits you. With the risk management plan I gave you, I told you risking 10% now is gonna take me personally, risking 10% of my account is gonna take 1 full month before I blow that account. Risking 10% of the account, and that will be a losing streak for that month. That's gonna be like 10 stop loss, of which me personally, for me to hit 10 stop loss, it's gonna be unrealistic. Over if I hit 10 stop loss in a row without any take profit, that's when I'll blow the account. And even if I'm hitting those stop loss, it's gonna take 1 full month before I blow the account. So I'm realistic with my risk. In that case now, I won't end up blowing the account in 2 weeks or in just 1 day and then looking for money to fund again. Why? Because I've already set that target. What am I gonna do? I've already set that risk. What am I gonna do now? Stay disciplined to follow whatever I'm risking. Now, those people you're gonna see doing so many things, and definitely once you see people taking losses now, someone selling his house, selling his cars, seeing a couple of different people coming to me telling me about this. Them doing this now is because they are taking risk they are not okay with. Very likely they go over, fund a big capital. Someone told them big capital is what is gonna make you more money. What happened? They sell off their car to fund $10,000. What tends to happen? They don't even calculate their risk. They risk $5,000 in the trade before you know they blow their account. Definitely, if you make money, you are gonna feel excited. You are gonna feel happy. you made money, you're gonna feel excited that you took the risk. Overall, is that a risk you are okay with? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to go over take risk like a baby. But overall, it's gonna be, are you okay with that risk? If you lose that money now, do you end up, many of you guys know this, you end up going back to the village? It's gonna make you total wretched, and is that what you're okay with? So those are things you want to put into place. And if you keep taking unnecessary risk, your discipline is gonna drop. Trust me, you won't be able to follow rules again. You won't be able to follow your plan again. I've seen so many traders taking losses, taking losses upon losses, and that has drained their discipline. If you see them doing things, they keep beating themselves up. I'm gonna still talk on this, beating yourself up once you're not able to follow your rule, you are not disciplined enough to follow your plan, which I'm going to talk about how to handle it, which I do experience it, so I'm able to tell you. Now, the very third thing is going to be you being consistent over excitement and over results most times. Be consistent over your results, over your excitement. Consistency is also part of the bootcamp. Consistency is also part of the bootcamp. That's like the next video of this very bootcamp. So you being consistent and then not being excited. You want to make money? Yeah, I understand. You have a plan, very okay. Then you have your account, deposited money in your account, also very nice. What are you gonna do? Stay disciplined in a way that whatever you plan on doing on that plan, which plan is one of the things that's gonna help you start becoming profitable. Which by now you now have a plan. What you're not gonna do, whatever you are doing on that plan now, is not gonna be how consistent you are that will start generating results. Don't think about, oh, I made $1,000 today. Think about, did I follow my plan? Did I end up taking 20 trades today to make that $1,000? The profit, trust me, if profit is what is always what trading is all about, trust me, so many people will not be profitable. So many people will not be trading the market now. What happened? They will make money, blow everything back, and then finally give up on trading. And like I told you guys, people that make money from trading, they are very few. And what do you want to do? You want to make sure you do everything possible to be part of those people. And what are you gonna do? Stay disciplined by following the plan you've created. Now, you be consistent now is gonna be, you have a plan, you are disciplined to follow the plan. You want to now be consistent, executing your plan, wherever outcome, win, losses, execute your plan. And then be consistent now, you are growing. It's not gonna be, you take a trade, you took a loss, of which you end up blowing your account on a single trade. What tends to happen? You didn't follow your plan first. You didn't go over know your risk. You didn't go over check your goals, because your goals greed was blocking your targets, blocking you setting your goals. You were so greedy, could not even set realistic goals. What tends to happen? You go over, take that risk, and then you blow your account. Now what's gonna happen? You're not able to remain consistent. The next few days now, you don't have an account to take trade. And what happened? That's now you being stagnant for the rest few days. And then before you fund again now, it's gonna take time. Once you fund again now, what tends to happen? The period you've wasted is not gonna be you wasting time, and then that's how it's gonna keep going. But if you are now consistent, go over, fund your account, you set your normal $500 target, $1,000 target, $10,000 target for the week or for the month. You hit your target, you do that again the next week, you didn't hit your target, but you were close to your target. You do that again the third week, it was a losing week, you lost some money. You do that again the fourth week, a good week. That month was a profitable month. You are being consistent, you are showing up every week, your account is there, you're able to take trade, you are showing up every single week, your account is great. Definitely you are consistent. Why are you being able to be consistent? Because you follow your plan, and that's what will start helping you start becoming profitable. Now, with the three things I've given you now, first is your goal. Don't be too greedy setting your goals. Second thing is your risk. Definitely, if you are random with your risk, I told you a couple of things that do happen. You might end up blowing all of your investments, blowing off your entire salary for the month. Doing so many things. You go over, start being random with your risk, and then not be disciplined with your risk. Don't let anybody tell you what you should be risking, what loss side you should be using. Go over, manage your risk, calculate your risk yourself with the risk management class I've done with you guys. Then go over, stay consistent. Whatever happens, show up. Definitely your account is there. You be consistent, take your losses, accept it, relax for that day, come back the next day, show up. The next day now you came back, you still showed up. What did you show up to do? To try again if the setup will be present. Definitely, if you've exceeded your loss limit for the week, relax for that week. Next week, show up. You are being consistent, constantly improving, constantly making money, constantly growing. That's you being disciplined. And all of this now is gonna help you start becoming more disciplined in whatever you're doing. In trading, and then in real life now, with everything you do, with the way you are in real life, you're gonna tell with the way you are, with the way you live, you're gonna tell that you are disciplined or you are not disciplined. It's gonna be obvious with the way you do things. It's gonna be, you have a routine, which if you don't have a routine, you should go over, draft out a routine, right? You should have a routine for whatever you're doing, which trading plan now is like a routine for your trading. There's gonna be routine for your life. What are you gonna do day in a day? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do today? I just woke up. Are you gonna just wake up, start playing video game? Are you gonna just wake up, start going to school or wherever you do? Or just wake up, lie down again? You should have a routine. When am I gonna show up on my laptop? When am I gonna do this? When am I gonna go over, check out this, saying how it's going? Those are things you want to note down, and definitely you want to follow it. And you're able to follow it, and that's showing that in real life you are disciplined. You're able to follow your routine. You're able to follow what you have personally written out as what you follow, and that's what will guide you in trading. That's why it is. If you watch every single trader out there, you're gonna notice me personally on my Telegram. You guys are already saying it. I take trade, I execute my plan flawlessly. Whatever happens, I take losses, I show up again. Notice last year I took a couple of losses around November. Took a couple of losses, though there were not much. I know I had a week where I had like 3 losses. After that 3 losses now, I stopped. November was still a profitable month. November was still a profitable month for me last year. Now I took about 3 losses in a week. I stopped for that week. When I took those 3 losses now, the first trade was a loss. I didn't stop that day. I didn't stop and then stop trading and then say I'll come back next week, or I have a setup that same day. I'm not afraid of taking it. No. If I had a setup that same day, I will still go for it. Why? Because I'm trying to be consistent, constantly following my rule as well. Now, I took the second loss. Now, the second trade now was a loss as well, of which I didn't go over after that second loss, and I said I'm gonna stop. But what I showed up again on the third trade. The third trade now was a loss. That was when I stopped. I was still consistently showing up, not because I feel I lost money. Let me not show up again. Or I've lost money, this is not for me, let me go over and look for something else. This is gonna be you showing up consistently, and definitely I'm showing up now. Definitely I'm learning from my mistake. On that journaling your trades, which I'm going to talk about later in the bootcamp. I'm going to talk about this. You showing up now consistently, you are learning from your mistake, improving. That's the most important thing, improving, and then you are doing better. Then if you're going to pay attention to my Telegram link is in the description. You're going to pay attention to that very Telegram. You're going to notice the way I take trade. As I take trade, win or loss, I keep showing up. If I set break even, I do hold it to hit my break even. If my plan was stop loss or take profit, I'll hold that trade for stop loss or take profit. Why? Because I have a plan. I have a written plan. I have a routine. I have something I'm holding on to. So what am I going to do? I want to do everything possible to follow that thing. That's also what it is. In real life, that's how it's gonna be. Like I said, once you're not disciplined in real life, once you lack discipline in real life, trading is gonna bring it out. You're gonna see yourself staying disciplined as well. You will still lack discipline as well in trading. But if you're disciplined in real life, you will be disciplined in trading. So do your best, right, to start becoming more disciplined in trading. See for yourself how your trading is gonna start becoming better. You have a plan, draft out the plan. With the 3 things I gave you, your goal, don't be too greedy with your goal and your target, your expected profit, your risk, then finally, your consistency. So, if this bootcamp is going well so far, drop a like and then share the bootcamp playlist. It's a full playlist. Share with your friends, and I will see you guys in the very next video. So, take care, guys.